Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review on Tim Meyer's latest novella, Rainbow Filth. If you guys have been on my channel for a while, you know that Tim Meyer is one of my automatic buy authors. I really enjoy his body of work. He is one of the only authors who can write cosmic horror and I'm okay with it. I am not a cosmic horror fan, but usually I really like Tim Meyer's cosmic horror. However, you may have seen earlier this year, I read his full-length novel, Lacuna's Point. That book was way too cosmic for me. A lot of it was based on existential dread and the insignificance of humanity in the face of the universe. And that's the type of cosmic horror that to me, I just don't vibe with. And so I gave that book 3 stars, I believe, which is low for Tim Meyer. Tim Meyer is usually up in my 4 or 5 star range. I really love his work. He has a massive novel called Malignant Summer. It's over 500 pages. And that was a 5-star read for me. And it's cosmic, it's all hell, but I loved it. But I always try and pick up his novellas. He just had one out, I believe, last year called To See the Stars, which was also super cosmic-y, but also very beachy. He loves beach horror. All of his cosmic horror is always kind of focused around crabs or octopuses or conch shells, things like that. But I do really enjoy his novellas. They're always fun, extended short stories. That's how they feel to me, which I mean is basically what a novella is. So I was really excited to read this. I read this with my my book club, which is just a group of me and my friends from college. I kind of just went into this blind because there's not a lot in the synopsis for this novel. As you can see, it kind of weaves in, so I'm going to read it for y'all. So it says, Rainbow Filth is a weirdo horror novella about a small cult that believes a rare psychedelic substance can physically transport them to another universe. There you go. And then what I really appreciated about this is Tim Meyer has his dedication to, and I'm just going to read it. It says, this one's for the Goosebumps kids out there like me. Keep it cool, keep it weird. And reading this novel, it very much feels kind of R.L. Steiny, but with an adult tone. I've never read the Fear Street books, but I've seen the films, so kind of more along that. This book is really cool. It's told through this weird style of police interrogation. All we know when we start the book is that this one man has been arrested by a police officer for the presumed murder based on the disappearance of his college professor and his girlfriend. And the whole story is basically this man telling this officer his side of the story. The novel is broken up through basically actual conversations in interrogation style, where it says officer said, defendant said, or suspect said, whatever it would be. And then through actual chapters, which is presumed to be just our suspect, our main character, speaking freely to this police officer. I loved the way that this was written. I know that the girls in my book club didn't love that, but it really worked for me because it kind of sped up some of the scenes in the novel that were necessary but weren't super engaging to get to the whole root of the mystery that was happening. So I really did like that stylistic choice. And I kind of loved the banter between our main character, Adam, and Detective McDonald. So that was definitely fun. I loved how the story unraveled, how I really, halfway through, thought I knew where it was going, and then it kind of fully did this 180 twist in the middle that really just gripped my attention. It made me pay way more attention to what was going on. I loved our insecurity that came through in our main character. A lot of our main character's bad decisions are pushed forward due to his own insecurities. And I felt that Tim Meyer did a really good job of showing the reader that without telling the reader that. But it's a pretty interesting story. This is the story of a guy who's dating this girl who he is head over heels in love with, thinks that she is the best thing to ever happen to him, and he views her as his entire world. She, however, does not. And she is more interested in experimental psychedelic drugs and how they can be used in alternate ways. This book is really interesting. I said this in my wrap-up. It gave me this kind of Heart of Darkness vibe, just because there's this weird plot line in it that focuses on like going into like the unexplored jungle. And I say that just because the like vibe and how I kind of envisioned it reminded me of the setting of Heart of Darkness. I don't actually think it's like Heart of Darkness beyond that. I did not like Heart of Darkness. I couldn't stand that book, and I think I had to read it twice, honestly, for school. But I did really, really like this. This was a 4-star read from me. And the main reason it's a 4-star read for me is simply because I don't think I loved the ending. There's this big twist that happens in the middle of the novel that then progresses as it goes on. However, the ending doesn't fully answer exactly what happened in this narrative twist. And I really wish that I had a more laid out answer, because I think like we're meant to draw our own conclusions, and the conclusion that I personally drew I thought was awesome, and I kind of wish that had been fleshed out a little bit more, because I would love more explaining on this, and I would love to go more in depth into this kind of cosmic element that we get. I will say another thing that I love about Tim Meyer's books is the cosmic horror is kind of sprinkled throughout all of his work. It never shows up at the end as this like crazy entity that you can't escape. Stephen King does that a bunch, and Keelan Patrick Burke does it too, and it drives me crazy when out of nowhere all of a sudden the answer is cosmic entity. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. So I really appreciate the way that Tim Meyer kind of tells you what you're going to get as you're going for it. But yeah, this was a super quick and easy read. I think I read it in 2 sittings. It's like less than 100 pages long. But it's really fun, really whimsical, and it just really brightened my day that I had so much fun with the Tim Meyer novel again, just because I was let down by Lacuna's Point. I was really hoping that I was going to love it, and it just wasn't a novel for me. But this one was really, really fun. And if you want something very like easy and cool and fast to read that's going to get you that spook factor, very much so like an R.L. Stine's Goosebumps book, but with more adult content, this is definitely a novella to pick up. I really, really enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun with it. So yeah, this was a 4-star rating from me. And I can't wait to see what Tim Meyer does next, because I do always look forward to my Tim Meyer reads. They are always so different than what I expect them to be. Anyways, that is all that I have for you guys today. As always, I post every Monday and Thursday, sometimes on Saturdays. And if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, and I will catch you on the next one. Mwah!